When a relationship ends, there are often some leftovers. Little pieces of what it once was clinging on in the subtleties of your day-to-day life. For most people, this residue of a relationship settles in the form of items left around the house or on an electronic device. It could be a note that you can't throw away or a reminder of somewhere that you visited together. But for me, this residue is a series of 7 unopened letters. I guess we're going to need a little bit of background to really tell this story, so I'll begin at the beginning. About 2 years ago, I took a trip with one of my best friends, Connor. We decided that we were going to go to Europe, and we'd been planning this thing for about 4 years. One of the places that was high up on our list was Amsterdam, and that's where I first met Ebba. Ebba is this hilarious Swedish girl, and by some miracle of geography, we both ended up in Holland at the same time. We fell in love, and we decided we were going to travel the world together. Obviously, this is a slightly abridged version of our romance, but you get the idea. The thing is that when we were done traveling, something wasn't quite right. Ebba decided that she wanted to go back to Sweden and I wanted to stay in England. This was a really difficult decision for both of us. But one thing she did before she left, which I love, is leave me 7 letters. I don't see what else I can do but follow the instructions on the letters and see where I end up. I guess I've been feeling a little down since Ebba left, so this seemed like a good place to start. I've always loved letters and notes, and puns, and playing music does usually help. Ebba and I always made playlists for each other, and we'd hide messages in the lyrics of the songs we chose. And I searched this playlist head to toe. The song selection was perfect. But it made me realize that no other person on earth could ever have put together a collection of songs so in line with my tastes. That's important. I started this film consumed by a blaze of motivation, but I guess it faded a little. Life happens. So I opened this letter, and I found that Ebba had planned for this moment for me. A care package of drawings and memories ready to reignite the fire. Okay, you need some help getting motivated. Let me help you out. Is it work related? Don't be a perfectionist. That will lead to guaranteed stress and procrastination. It's easier to improve what you have than create perfection out of nowhere. So stop psyching yourself out and just get started. Remember not to force it though. Motivation only lasts for so long. Take a nap, a walk, an ice cream break. Let your subconscious work on the problem while you recharge. Most importantly though, believe in yourself. Picture yourself succeeding and celebrate your achievements. I believe in you. I know you'll succeed and that you've got what it takes. In fact, you're an inspiration to me. Your passion amazes me. Not work related? No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. What consumes your mind controls your life. Don't think about what can happen in a month. Don't think about what can happen in a year. Just focus on the 24 hours in front of you and do what you can to get closer to where you want to be. I believe that you're good enough, smart enough, handsome enough, and strong enough. I hope you believe it too, and never let your insecurities run your life. I'll be here if you ever need someone to talk to. Now, go kick some bottom. Love, Ebba. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been nostalgic for the past. We all have it in us to miss what was or wonder where we'd be if we'd turned down a different street at a different time. But sometimes we need to be reminded of the good calls we made. This photograph was taken the first night I ever met Ebba, and I thought I'd lost it. In a hostel in Amsterdam, me and my friend Connor were approached by a drunk girl from Birmingham who wanted us to join her group, which included a girl from Sweden, on an adventure that night. This mobile phone footage and that Polaroid are the only evidence of what was, for me at least, a life-changing night. English is not Ebba's first language. In fact, one of the most charming things about her is the way that she occasionally muddles a sentence and makes something better. Her declaration of "I'm having a cold" is a perfect example of this. What to do when feeling sick? 1. Sleep. 2. Noodles. 3. Water. 4. Fluffy blankets. 5. Tissues. 6. Parrots eat them all. I think that's paracetamol. I'm sometimes not the most forthcoming with my feelings, and I can find it hard to ask for help. Clearly, Ebba noticed this, because she did something wonderful. Just wanted to give you a reminder that people will always be there for you. P.S. You can always call me when you need support. You only have to ask. We are and always will be here for you. We hope you think of us as your best friends who will do anything within our power to help you and to make you happy. We want you to know that you can ask us anything or call us anytime with any problem you may have. Our lives are so much richer for having you as our son. We love you more than words can say. Love, Mum and Dad. I often find it hard to sleep. Sometimes it's because there's a lot on my mind. Others it's because I can't shake the thought of all the possibilities waiting out in the city. But that sleeplessness can feel like torture, and those nights can feel like they last for years. When it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep, open your window and feel the crisp, cold air on your skin. Take a deep breath and watch as you create clouds when you breathe out. Look at the dark blue sky that sits above your head and marvel at how beautiful it is. Try to find the moon and the stars that guard the night sky. Whisper all your uncertainties out into the universe. It's okay if you let the stars carry the weight of your worries for a while. When it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep, make a cup of tea. Grab a pen and paper and write all the things you wish you could say in the form of a letter, and address them to people you wish you'd had the courage to tell. When you're done, seal them in an envelope and keep them in the drawer of your bedside table. Maybe one day you'll show them the words you wrote, but for now, it's out in the world and that's all that matters. When you crawl back into bed and try to sleep, I hope you feel a little lighter. I lived with Ebba. I saw her every single day. I've spoken to her maybe more than any person I've ever spoken to. Even a month without that has been really hard. Everything seems a little harder now. In my head, I can't even imagine us not talking for a while. But here we are. I really hope you feel like you can contact me at any time. We might be busy, but let's make an effort to stay in touch. But if you need distance, I also get that. Whatever will make you the happiest. I hope everything is going well for you, and that what you're doing excites you. Remember that time you worked at your old job and were unhappy? You broke free, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. If something is making you unhappy, let it go. It might not be the easiest, but it will be worth it. You deserve only what's best in life. I'll always care about you, Brett Chapman, and I will always love to hear from you. feel like I've been gifted 7 really noteworthy moments. I mean, how often do we get a text message or find a picture and fail to recognize how significant it is to the narrative of who we are? So I thought long and hard about how I should respond here, what I should do. And the most obvious thing seemed to be to write a letter back. But this is going to be the kind of letter that you have to deliver in person. I'd arranged to meet Ebba in Sweden. I guess the truth is that I was still in love with her. The letters she'd written had only cemented in my mind that she was a one-of-a-kind person. So I'd written her my own letter, proclaiming my feelings and explaining that I thought we'd made a mistake, that we should be together. And then she was there, in front of me. We had such a joyous and exciting time together, having great conversations and little adventures. I think we had the sort of weekend that we'd been searching for the last 2 years. Despite all that, Ebba didn't look at me the same way that I look at her. And she was clear. She doesn't love me that way anymore. So I threw away my letter and any pretensions I had about holding a boombox above my head playing her favourite song, and I just enjoyed the moments that we had left together. It was one of the most precious weekends of my life. It's been really hard since getting home, because I do love Ebba. I am in love with Ebba. And all of my programming, everything I've learned from the cinema tells me that if I'm a good enough person, if I make enough grand gestures, she'll love me back. It feels like a defeat to remove all of this residue from my life and move on. When you tell someone that you'll love them forever and truly mean it, to have to lock away that feeling feels like a lie. But there's nothing heroic about holding on to and fighting for a love that isn't returned. So I look at it like this. The real residue this relationship will leave in my life isn't the pictures on my phone. It's not the 7 letters that she left me. And this is as true for me as for anyone. The residue of any relationship is who we are after. Every person we share love with changes us in innumerable ways. Our favourite songs, movies and places forever become intertwined with a moment in time where 2 people cared more about each other than anyone else. There are changes in my personality that I'll take forward that are her legacy. I don't eat animals anymore. I know to drink more water. I've known what it's like to be so excited for someone to turn up you can't sleep. I know now to listen more and talk less, and I'm aware of which peanut butter is the best. I'm better for having met Ebba, and even as we both move on, we'll take small pieces of each other forward, probably without even realizing. For just a short period of time, we were in love with each other, and that's enough.